Hey Carl, Jason here. Enjoyed your mini review Monday on Retham. Very, very cool. I'm glad that product line really excites you. You can hear in your voice how much you love it and how much you want to get it back to the table. It sounds very good if somebody wants a pre-detailed world that they can plug their adventures in so they don't have to worry about coming up with their own factions and their own politics stuff. You can plop you can take this, the map's already there, the factions are already there, the world's already there, so you can just plug your adventures in and run them, and it saves you a lot of world building. So I can see the advantages of using that. um, Very, very cool. Keep up the great work. Talk to you soon.
Carl Rodriguez is the GMologist, GM extraordinaire, the GMologist.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents Mini Review Mondays. I have a special guest today who's going to open some of his boxes, and give a little mini review. And then after he does his, we're going to open one together, and he's probably going to talk about it because I'm sure he has it. Or if he doesn't have it, he's heard about it. And then I will come back later and give my own review about it. So, Jason, I'm going to give you the floor because you got some boxes. I mean, you probably have a stack like mine. I have a stack here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10, 11, 12. Like the Ladybug says. I don't know if you remember that skit from either Electric Company or Sesame Street, but man, I got like 12 boxes. All right.
Well, I've only brought 3 boxes with me today. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Okay.
I brought 3 boxes by your house, Carl.
All right.
From the Nerds RPG Variety Cast house. I brought 3 over to your house, and we're going to open up. The first one is from Amazon. It's a box about yay big. I'm showing it to Carl.
Nice.
And it's let's see what's in here. When I say yay big, folks, I mean it's from the elbow to midway through my hand to the elbow to my wrist. Whoops, I almost cut myself with my knife, and then the width of my hand.
That sounds like 3/4 of a cubit by half a cubit.
Exactly. See, Carl's on it, dog on it. I've got my Swiss Army knife Tinker's model here to cut this open with. So here we go. We're going to open this up. I believe I know what this is going to be, and it is what I thought. So this actually, folks, the more in-depth version of this is going to be released on Sunday, the 30th of October on the Nerds RPG Variety Cast. I'm going to do my System Sunday on a board game.
Great.
Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be amazing. I've never played it. It was a really big seller when I worked back in graduate school at Dragon's Lair. We were always out of it, and it seems like it's a new edition.
This is the 3rd edition. This is the newest edition. There are a bunch of variants of this game. I talk about them, all the variants over on my show, so you'll be able to hear that when folks go over there. But this edition, they've done something to simplify it. They've changed some things up. So I actually haven't played this edition of it. I played other editions. Betrayal on the House at the House on the Hills, a really fun board game. It's a neat game. Like I say, you can go to my show on the 30th of October, System Sunday, and you'll be able to hear all about these games. So we won't waste their people's time here. But yeah, this is here at my house. We play one version or another of this game every year on Halloween. The family does. This is one of the family board games. But this is
you gonna play that. You gonna play that in a couple days then?
Yeah, we'll be playing this the 3rd edition, the newest version. Nice. We'll play that this year, 2022.
Right. Well, that'll be you'd be playing that today when this comes out.
There you go. See, excellent. Yeah, time travel.
Nice. And you don't have to do your unboxing on your own show.
That's right. Yeah,
use my band.
Yeah. The next box is from Goodman Games. Everybody knows who Goodman Games is. This box is about the same size. And
a little thicker. Seems heavier.
Yeah, it's a size limit 85 inches and 80-pound limit weight is not quite 80 pounds. But I think I know what this is, but let's open it and make sure I'm right. Folks, when you look at the Kickstarters by Goodman Games, one of the add-ons usually is a starter kit. And it might not be called starter kit, but it's called something like that. And in that, you get a bunch of stuff. And the idea is it's a way to start. Like if you don't play DCC or you're interested in Dungeon Crawl Classics, how you can get started. and I believe this is one. I ordered it with. Actually, I've ordered a couple of these, but this is one of those. So so this way you're gonna hear exactly what you get when you order that. And it's not that I want to have like 5 of these starter kits, but they're great gifts to give to other people, and they're great like if you go play a convention or something, So it's always good to have this because you can share it, right? It lets you share a game that you love, and I know we both love Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Holy crap! It has a book, a rule book.
It comes with a soft cover. It's a soft cover, but it's a soft cover version of the rule book, the full rule book, the full 500 plus page rule book. You get that. It's like $30 for the starter kit. It's like the cost of the rule book. You get all this stuff. You get a DM screen.
Nice.
This one's sealed up at the moment, but it's the standard GM screen that they sell, right? And then you get an adventure. This one came with Doom of the Savage Kings.
Oh, that's an awesome adventure.
Yeah, but you get an adventure with it, right? And you get a set of the dice from them.
Yes, that's important. Man, those dice alone, honestly, sometimes those dice alone are pretty fun.
The dice are as much as the darn starter kit is.
Yeah, that's a great starter kit. That's a great suggestion. Next time they do have they just had Empire of the East and they had some other ones.
Yep.
But
Okay,
so they just had the Dying Earth.
Right. So this dice kit is the says Rickens Subjevorius Solids. I can't even pronounce it.
Is that maybe it's the Dying Earth ones? Are they all different colors?
Yeah. These are different colors.
I think they're supposed to be like ion stones.
Yeah. It's so it's cool, but it comes with a D3, a D4, a D5, a D6, a D7, a D8, a D10, D percentile, D12, D14, 16, 20, 24, and D30. So, I mean, you get all this stuff, and go to one of their Kickstarter pages, even one of their closed ones, and you'll see this as an add-on, like their starter kit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I say, even if the price of if you get, for the price of the dice alone or the rule book alone, you get all the stuff together.
Yeah.
And then, you can use as a gift, a starter kit for somebody. Mm-hmm. This would be a great pack to use. Like if you order a couple of these would be great for contests, for giveaways. Yeah. Or if you do Dungeon Crawl Classics at a convention, you could give these away to the winner or something. It's cheap enough. Right. Although Goodman Games is really a great company. And if you're doing stuff at conventions, you should reach out to Goodman Games because they're one of the companies that will support you if you're running their game at a convention. Right. Generally, they'll help you out with swag and stuff to give out. So
yeah, actually, even some third-party publishers from that for DCC, they're very accommodating to third-party publishers. I hear that they give even the third-party publishers, and they pass that forward. Like I ran a game for one of the guys at my table was part of this a third-party publisher for DCC stuff, and he had swag to give out too, so it was great.
Yeah, so I highly recommend that. Yeah, I highly recommend. If you don't have any of this stuff physical form, then I recommend it for you. But if you do have it, I recommend it because it's something great you could pass on to other people,
right?
And get people excited in the hobby, right? Because we all like stuff like that.
Man, I have one. Was it Doom of the Savage Kings?
That's the event. That's the adventure I got. Yeah,
that's a cool series too.
It is. So the DCC, one of the great things about Dungeon Crawl Classics are the great adventures. They're all, I mean, it's hard. Obviously, some are a little better than others, but there really aren't stinkers in that line. I mean, pretty much any of them are great adventures. They're fun to read, the great art. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, they're all I was going to add on to that too. Like their free stuff, like their free RPG stuff. Like top notch. Like we played that one last year.
Yeah, the Mummy
RPG Day. That the one that was a homage to the Boris Karloff Mummy. And then this year they had one that came out for free RPG Day. That's a funnel or first level adventure called Danger in the Air. And actually, when Amy and I were kind of hanging out this last weekend at Crush the Con, she's like, "Let's just play something." So I was like, "Okay, well, she never played a funnel before, so she grabbed a couple of the funnel sheets that I had made, and we played some. It was definitely awesome because as she had a great time with it, even though we didn't quite finish. But we she lost a character in the first room, which is as it should be in a funnel. So.
Very cool. Yeah.
And I love that she also all the characters had. I didn't give names or anything, but they all had occupations, but she like named them all based on their occupation. It was funny. Like Cordy, or I don't know what was, but it was fun. It's fun. She like named them all and got really into it. So it's a great game. It's a great introductory game to any fantasy because of the funnel system and the first level characters. They have a lot of cool like games that use a DCC, one would say engine, like
Right.
Weird Frontiers, MCC, Umerica, which is like post-apocalyptic. There's plenty more. That's just to name a few. So, all right.
Yeah, great company, great products. The last thing I have here, I actually am not quite sure what it is. It came to me from Deutschland. So we're going to open this up and see what this is. This probably is from a Kickstarter, you would think, but who knows? Maybe this won't be something that we should be opening here. I don't know. I do have some weird taste. If I can get into this, if I don't remember ordering. Oh, look at that. We've got
Movies. Books?
No. These are books.
wow.
Which I think these are RP. I think all this is RPG related.
Dang.
Hold on. Let me get it all out of the box here.
He's pulled out like 4 things out of this box.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is Kickstarter. Oh, if I can get this out without destroying it. They taped it to the inside of the box, which I guess when you're going international postage,
Yeah, you don't want things to shake around so much.
Yeah, you want to keep things safe, which I definitely appreciate. Okay, let's figure out what this is. We've got this is some kind of is that I don't know, it's in German. This is these are tiles. So this is some kind of board game. These are tiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a board game. It says Zombry on it. ZOMBORY is what it says on the box, but it's of course still in German. I've got, I think this maybe is a dice tower. Oh, this is Metal Heroes, the Fate of Rock special edition. That's what this is.
Oh,
did you back this? This is an RPG, not a.
Oh, okay.
I think.
What are those tiles for?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's figure that out. So Metal Heroes, if people Google that Kickstarter, you'll see in this box we have dice.
Nice. Are they metal dice?
Sadly, they are not metal dice. That's kind of a cheapness, isn't it? They're not metal dice. There are meeples in here and there are dice in here. One of the die is special. It's got special faces on it. It's a D8 with some special faces. We do have a soundtrack for the game.
That's cool.
And the soundtrack, fittingly enough, is not just an MP3 download. It's actually a physical something. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's an actual CD. It's an actual CD,
Dang.
which is cool. There's a guitar pick.
Hopefully they sent you a CD player because no one plays CDs anymore.
Oh, well, I actually am old. I've got a CD player. I don't know if these are Striker, Devil Diver, Marathon, Huntress, Delane, Ailstorm. Ailstorm's
Nice.
a real band, right?
No, Striker's a real band. Delane is a real band. It's a real band.
Okay,
Huntress,
great.
Awesome. Huntress is amazing.
Gravedigger, Mammoth.
Yep.
These are some of the things on the soundtrack.
Dang, it's a good soundtrack. You probably won't like all that music, but I would.
Okay. We've got because I can't understand what they're saying. We've got a guitar pick.
Well, Huntress you probably could, but some of those other ones are. But I think I don't. Those bands, I don't think they're more melodic, and the vocals are also melodic. Maybe they're more it's like power metal.
Gotcha. There's a poker deck here, a Heroes of Rock poker deck.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's a separate little party game. It's got 4 dice in here as well, which the 6 is a middle finger. It's a hand giving you the middle finger. So we've got that. So this is a hodgepodge of different stuff. I'm pretty sure Metal Heroes was a role-playing game. In here, there's a fake little ticket. Yeah, for the Woodstock Music and Art Fair from 1969. It's a repro of the Woodstock thing.
Dang. So get this, my mother-in-law went to Woodstock.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I was trying to pin her down to get some stories, but
the character sheets are written as like a little tour book. Here, so
that's cool. I like that.
Different character sheets.
What's the system though, man?
Well, we're going to get to that. There's also
Get to that.
another CD or DVD or something in here. Here
Mhm.
it comes. I don't know exactly what that is. We'll have to figure that out. So and then I've got two books here. I've got the book. Oh, you know what this is? This is I thought this was a game like a regular RPG, but the first book, wow, this is like a hardcover with it's not just like a
It's like a
hardcover
sleeve.
book. Yeah, it's got a sleeve on it too. Like a regular book sleeve. It's the size of it's maybe
Looks like a
of
novel. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like a novel. It's a rock comedy game book. So this is a game book,
Okay.
and we're like a fighting fantasy or one of those. So that's what this is.
Oh, that's like
And
a choose your own adventure type of thing.
yeah, it's a choose your own adventure. And the other one,
It's like
oh
an
no,
actual
both these are. So this is so it's not a role playing game. It's a game, but these are both game books. So you get game books and then you get all this other stuff with it.
Okay.
So that's what this is.
Huh.
So it was the Metal Heroes, the Fate of Rock
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. This is probably available somewhere else.
Mhm.
Some company or another probably sells it. And then there's another, the Rider of the Black Sun fantasy game book,
Oh wow.
which is separate. But it's a big, and it's not
Okay.
just like choose your own adventure because it uses dice and things. So it's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
like
yeah.
a fighting fantasy or
A
one
fighting
of those.
fantasy.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are my unboxings for
What
today.
company was that?
Very cool. The company, let's see. It is funded by. Good question. Where's the name of the
Metal
company?
Heroes.
Parental warning. Oh, well, it's Manticore Verlag, but
Okay, well,
Manticore was
I'll try to
with a
look
K.
that up and put it in the show
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to them. Oh, these books actually, look at these are well made. Not only they're hardcover with sleeves and everything, each of the books has two the what do you
Yeah,
call them?
there's also like tabs on the side, like markings on the
Yeah, they're
pages.
tabs on the slide, plus they're the cloth
ribbons. Yeah,
ribbons. So I mean, this is actually
that's nice. It's good
very well
quality.
made. Yeah, very good quality. Very nice. So cool.
Okay,
Okay,
My
that
turn.
is what I have today.
I think I'm gonna do one and then I'm gonna follow up with one, and both of these I'll review. So it'll
Okay.
do be a double shot of mini review Monday for you because one is related to something I've opened. All right, so here we go. This is from
Mhm.
eBay,
Oh, okay.
and this is a eBay one of the eBay padded envelopes. It
Mhm.
is 12 and a half by like 10 inches. All right, and I feel like it might be. I have anvil out just in case, but I think I can just tear it out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. It's glue. It's not like a perforated. All right. It's definitely backed by cardboard, which I appreciate. That just a mini rant. I've been getting. I don't know if you have lately. I think you have like a PO box. I've been getting a lot of products. I'm getting a few products that say "do not bend" that have been bent and stuffed into my mailbox.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is with that. Fortunately, like one of them, I mean, they've been like nothing like that'll get destroyed that way. But I've had to but they've been bent and I've had to put them under like stacks of books so they can straighten out.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I haven't had no damage yet, but I mean, I don't understand that. They can just throw them put them by our door, throw them in. Anyway, okay, so cardboard. So it's wrapped up really well. So I appreciate definitely when I go to the seller for eBay, I will go again because they wrap things up really well. And I'm going to take it out of its wrapping. Jason hasn't seen it yet.
Nope, I have not. Those tiles, the Zombori thing, are a separate little game.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
like
Wow,
a
it's
memory game tile game. So
Oh, wow.
I got all kinds of stuff for this Kickstarter.
All right, so here it comes coming out of the cardboard. Coming out of the cardboard. Look what I got there on eBay.
Oh, look at that. Treasures of the Middle Earth, old ICE, Iron Crown
Yeah.
Enterprises, MERP.
Yep. It's an old Merc product,
Yeah.
Treasures of Middle
Yeah.
Earth. I saw the price. I couldn't beat it. It's in great shape. It's not yellowed at all, by the way. It's
Mhm.
in nice shape. They put like
Yeah,
I
it
said,
looks
it's a
brand
cardboard
new.
backing. So what do you have this book and do you know about it?
I had it back in the day. I do not still have a copy of it. I vaguely remember it. It's got, I mean, effectively it's your magic item book, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or a
that's
book of magic.
exactly what I
Yeah.
wanted. Like so,
hmm
so you know whether I use Merps or the One Ring or whatever, now, or even the 5e has just reissued the 5e, the predecessor, not predecessor, the follow, what's it called? Descendant, I guess, of AIM. They have now another 5e. Freelagon is put out
Well,
5e book.
yeah. So it's interesting. So what's interesting is Free League has come out with their 5e version of the One Ring second edition,
Yeah,
but Cubicle 7 is also coming out. They're taking Adventures in Middle Earth, stripping out the Tolkien IP, and they're going to re-release Adventures in Middle Earth as a 5e product, just without any Tolkien IP in it.
that's weird. That's
Yep.
interesting or challenging. Anyway, so Treasures of Middle Earth. Now I have like a good compendium of different treasures in Middle Earth. They have the rings in there for sure. They have like Glamdring and Orcust, Sting are in here. So I'm very excited about this product, and I'll check it out in more depth, or I'll review it in more depth in a little bit. And I love the cover. I've always loved the cover. It's Anatar making the rings, I believe. Anatar / Sauron making the rings, or is that Celebrimbor? You think that's Celebrimbor on the cover?
I don't remember. But that's what they're
I'll look it
doing
up.
is they're making the rings.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
So it's a. I mean, I always love the format of these ICE Merps books. I mean,
hmm
2-column format. It's everything's very easy to find, easy to read. I guess it's much like. I mean, I feel like something similar to like the Palladium books, that kind of 2-column format, but really neat. I'm very excited about this book because I would like to run. I would talk about running something in Middle Earth at some point, whether I use One Ring or Merc or 5e. We'll see. Whatever. It's kind of like what the players, in my opinion, what the players would feel more comfortable having fun and running with, and not letting the rules get in the way. And if that's an AIM or the new Freelagon 5e, that might be the best. But I run the One Ring with Amy. We ran one of the introductory adventures, and she really enjoyed it. It was very intuitive, and she liked the mechanic. So, and she's a relatively new player compared to a lot of us. So she picked up really fast. So, anyway, very excited about Treasures in Middle Earth.
Excellent. And I
So
look
I will
forward.
review this in a second.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing that extended review.
Yep. All right. So one more thing that'll probably be added to the review, and I guess this is why I was kind of ranting. This says "Do not bend" on it. This envelope
Right.
from Columbia Games, and they've got bent and stuffed into my little mailbox. Hopefully, because it's paperback, it won't be a problem. But I did review Retham. Was that the second one I did? Yeah. The
Yeah, it
last
was
time
what
I
you
did
did.
this
Yeah. Mhm.
last week. So this is almost like a follow-up. I had ordered some more things from Columbia Games, and this is just a standard like envelope. And Columbia Games has this thing called like you can do a subscription service, and sometimes they have cool products. I think it's quarterly, about $30. I don't know. A lot of people feel that Columbia Game stuff is a little overpriced. Your mileage may vary, but I wanted to get this product to check it out because I was excited about it. And it's the reprint in a way, or the revision of a product that was done by Columbia Games a while back that I do have. And this is Menglana, which is a kingdom. It says Menglana Kingdom in Crisis. It's in their sort of Viking-ish, Scandinavian-ish ortholog place. So the interesting thing, again, a person might not like this, is that they come as sort of 3-hole punched loose leaf, and the idea is you put them in a notebook.
Right.
So the Menglana article it clocks in pretty well at, well, I'm still counting. See, it's a little bent, so I'm gonna have to unbend it.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. The Menglana product comes in at around, plus a map, around 40, 45 or so pages. And then there's a second article in here, which is probably why I decided to jump on it, for Pellin, which is the capital of Menglana. And that comes in at like 13 pages, including a map and stuff like that. So pretty cool. I had it before, but I really like how they've redone and revamped some of these older products, and reformatted a lot of things, and especially I think they've either had redrawn or taken the older maps and just improved them. They're visually more appealing. The color palette is a lot easier to read. They also what I think is always cool in Harn. So like the players will never get the true cartographic map, but they'll get like maps like this, which is like a poetic map of the area.
Right.
They also have a cool poetic map. So yeah, this was actually ran a game in Manglana that didn't, it was going to be called Black Sails over Orball. And I started it in Manglana, and that was going to be the intro. But since it was play by post, you know, it just, sometimes play by post just dies or a player disappears and don't know what happened. And that's kind of what happened. But it was a really neat game. And what system were we using for that? I think we're using Hero system, like Fantasy Hero. Always the cool thing about things set in Harn World, they're system agnostic. So you can play whatever system you want to play.
Right.
And the timeline stops at a certain date. There's no meta plot, and it becomes your own game going forward. You don't have to worry about, Columbia Games calling you and saying, "Hey, that won't happen in my Harn in canon Harn World."
Right.
You can't run that. Just like when WotC gives you a call and says, "Hey, you can't play that way in the Forgotten Realms," or something. Yeah, they give me a couple calls. They give me a couple.
WotC's famous about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple calls. I see the black helicopter circling. I got to join MW in his bunker.
That's right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are cool products. I'll review them in a bit more depth. Definitely thank you so much, Jason, for joining me on my unboxing segment of Mini Review Monday. It's a little longer Mini Review Monday, I'm sure, this time around. But anytime we have a special guest, we give them some slack and leeway. And it was great to see those products. I was talking about DCC, as you know, and that Metal Hero sounds really cool.
It is. What I was thinking, I might ask Jules over Jules and Zed. I don't want her to think we're getting into her territory there, but she's doing a really cool thing with My Little Pony, where she's running a kind of a choose your own adventure, My Little Pony adventure over on her podcast. And maybe we should do the same thing with this Metal Heroes Fate of Rock game book. That might be pretty cool.
Is it like fantasy setting, or is it like urban
it
fantasy?
Is. Well, I'll read you the back cover here. You are Taylor, a full-blooded rocker and full-time idiot. You're leading a miserable existence in a shitty metropolis when unexpectedly the god of rock, tired of office, chooses you to be his successor. Your challenge: prove your aptitude for Mount Olympus by building up a talentless garage band with no prospects to become the greatest metal act on the planet, and along the way save the world. So that's the premise of the book.
It's like the Tenacious D story. I love it.
Yeah, and the soundtrack, you're supposed to play it along with it. The accompanying soundtrack greatly influences the progress of the game book and contains international metal bands from all stylistic directions. It's got a whole and there's other. It looks like there's a whole lot to this. We'll talk offline, but I don't know if we'll have to see whether if you want this a segment of your show or mine. I mean, maybe if we're gonna do it on your show,
Cerebrivore fill-ins too.
Maybe alternate weeks on Cerebrivore. I don't know. We'd probably get away with playing the soundtrack easier on our shows than on Cerebrivore because that's on YouTube.
True.
But I mean, they have the rights to the soundtrack, so I wouldn't feel too bad about playing it, but a little bit. But at the same time, I could see it getting yanked off YouTube. You know what I mean?
True that. Yeah.
But maybe those episodes just won't go on YouTube. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. But this could be really cool to do that way. And there's friggin' like 800 some entries in here for this thing. So it's huge. I mean, the book's huge. The book's, you know what I mean? Well, you can see it. The listeners can't see it, but these are big books.
Yeah,
so
it's like a big novel.
Right. So we'll talk about it, folks. You'll hear more about this, but whether we'll let you know where it's going to happen, but I think this would be a cool, play along adventure kind of thing.
Right.
So
great. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for joining me for the unboxing segment of Mini Review Monday. And thank you, folks. Tune in, and we'll talk about Treasures of Middle Earth and Manglana.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you, Carl. I really
Thank
appreciate you
you.
letting me on.
Okay, let's take a look at Treasures of Middle Earth. It has 3 sections. Part 1, the introduction. Part 2, which is items, and then part 3, generating. Part 3 is generating treasures. So it's also broken up into several sections, and I really, in a way, I kind of like how MERP or these books do their table of contents. They also break it down. They have like part 1, what's in there. 3 sections in part 1: introduction, using treasures, guidelines. Part 2 is items, creators, materials. Part 3, generating treasures. And really, that's interesting. The first part, the forward, the introduction, is really just an overview and how to convert things. So when converting a value to a 1 to 20 system, a simple rule is for every +5 on the D100, you get a +1 on a D20. Oh, right. So this is if you wanted to use this for other games, for a D20 type game. So, for example, something with 102 stat would be a +7, for example, or something with a 1 stat would be a -4. Makes sense. So it's pretty cool. So it has a convergence. And part 2, I mean, that's only like 5 pages. Part 2 is the majority of it. And I wanted to get this because if I ever wanted to run something in any Middle Earth setting, I think this is a definitive book on the magic items for that setting. I mean, look, it has Anduril, the Flame of the West, Aragon, the Second's blade forged from the pieces of the sword that was broken, the shards of Narsil, the original weapon reforged in Third Age 3018 by Elvin Smiths of Rivendell to form Anduril. It's engraved with 7 stars between a rayed sun and a crescent moon, representing Elendil, Inarion, and Isildur, respectively. So that's pretty cool. It's a +50 OB blade, so that would be +50. So if you converted this to aim, maybe, that would be, if we look on our handy dandy table, +50. Oh, I guess it doesn't give a bonus. Oh, maybe +50 OB. If you divide by 5, it'd be a +10. I guess that's what it says, right? Divide by 5. No, yeah, something like that. Anyway, pretty cool. So yes, that's Anduril, and it tells you where you can find out about it. So it also says it's a +5 OB, +50 to OB. Holy Blade, flames on command. When flaming, Anduril can burn hot with a red flame and deliver extra heat criticals of equal severity and becoming of slaying orcs, or it can burn cold with white flame, delivering a cold critical of equal severity as well as becoming of slaying undead. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it has a lot of other things in here, but I was wanting to look at, honestly, and I'll look it up here, is they have something called the Dawn Sword that looks pretty cool. A lot of really nice pieces of art inside as well. They have Dukrist, which looks like it is a battle axe, a handsome weapon of dwarvish steel, man-sized weapon adorned with a grip of white jade and black onyx, band separated by mithril wire. It has on the shaft engraved in dwarven elvish runes in Sindarin, Kuzul, and Westron. And it's supposed to be +10 OB, slaying weapon of +15 against creatures of Morgoth. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Right. Durin's axe. Yeah, just the weapons. I'm just looking through the Morgul knife. Narsil, the original, is in here. They have Orcrist, Glamdrung. Sting is in here. Sting is equivalent to a +15 short sword, glows blue within 1,000 feet of orcs, and most brightly when they are within 100 feet, lightly if they are from 100 to 50 feet away. So it is of slaying versus orcs. Interesting. So they have those. I'm really fascinated by this now. So I'm looking at like there's like boots and all different types of things. Elven oh, they do have the elven cloak. I wonder how it compares to what's in D&D. A hooded gray cloak fashioned of light but warm silken staff woven by Galadrim. At eventide it took the color of the twilight under the trees, although summer hawthorn, and among summer hawthorn the green of translucent leaves by night, the brown fields lying fallow in winter at dawn, silvery as waves beneath the moon. So that's pretty cool. Plus 20 to hiding and stalking. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. It really helps you out. You know, if you, again, like I said, if you ever wanted to, the rings. So I guess I wanted to look at the different rings, right? Do they even have the one ring in here? They have the 7 dwarven rings. I see the 9 mortal rings. They have Nenya Vilya. So I'm assuming Narya. The one ring. Oh wow, there's a huge section on the one ring. The rings of power is like the first part in here in this treasures. So they do have something here. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Lots of powers by the one ring. So you could throw that in there and mess up your MERP or AIM characters. Make them become Bilbo or something else, maybe. Kind of neat. So a lot of other magic items. Those are just a few. But they have, I think it's a neat section on the creators, the Eru and the Ainur, the Valar, Maiar, Istari, then the free peoples, so dwarves and their works of power, elves, hobbits, Ents, men and the great enemies, how they make things, or what they used to make things, demons making things, some Nazgul, orcs, and the materials that one could use, the different gems that you could use. Oh, they even have even trolls, so trolls might be able to make something. Materials, the gems, herbs, plants, a lot of different herbs. So actually, they tell you what these herbs do. I guess these are treasures of Middle Earth, like what they do as well, which is kind of nice. So alambas, aloe, athalas, so king's foil, right? And what they can do. Pretty neat. What else am I looking for here? So I'm looking, there's quite a big section on herbs, etc. Quite a metals as well. A Darcer, Alcom, Celeb. They do have, I'm sure they have Mithril. Yes, they do. Brilliant or True Silver and what it does. So pretty cool. And then properties with special minerals. They have a nice chart here. And then woods. They have stuff on woods, enchanted materials. And then part 3 is generating treasure. So you could actually have a treasure generation, like what kind of classifications are, the size of a treasure. So like if you were running through the expedition to Erebor, Lonely Mountain, and you came across the troll cache, well, you could generate it right here, which I think is pretty cool. A magic, it has magic items, like monetary item in your treasure, and yeah, it's pretty neat. And what spells you could put on it, etc. So pretty nice. And it's a random table, so to generate your random magic items. So it's a fascinating book. I'm sure I'm gonna dig through it and look, just randomly pick out a magic item here, like the deck of tricks. Elaborately marked deck belonging to Nimrillion, a bandit leader near Dol Amroth. A trickster must be familiar with it before use. Plus 25 to trickery. From Havens, see also Havens of Gondor. So I guess it's also a collection of the different, where you can find it originally, or where it originally came out in the various MERP ICE books. So I'm really glad I got this. I honestly can't wait to implement it. If I run, I'm planning on running some sort of Middle Earth game. I don't know what. I played in a Middle Earth game run by Jason Hobbs, which was really fun. I played in one, like a couple sessions of AIM that Paul Wolf ran, which I really enjoyed. And I've been rereading Lord of the Rings. I reread The Hobbit and re-seen the movies, both the cartoon movies and the live action movies, just to get inspiration and as a reference. So anyway, that was Treasures of Middle Earth. If you can find it at a good price, I do highly recommend it. It's a very nice tome. or it's not even a tome really. It only clocks in at 142 pages, and just a handy reference I think to have for your any game maybe that you might set in Middle Earth. Okay, I guess because I opened it, I need to review it. And this next review is on Manglana, Kingdom in Crisis. That is from the title. It looks like a sort of a painting by, I believe it is going to be, so, wait, yeah, the cover is by Richard Luschek, and he does all the other art in the rest of the Manglana article. The article itself clocks in at 48 pages, and then you have the front cover and back cover, as well as a fold-out map. So like a 2-page. So I guess that would be 8.5 by 11. So 8.5 by 8.5. So 16 by. Is that right? So 2 pages, 8.5 by 11. So I guess it would be like 16 by 22 type of map. Of the region that includes, but it also includes like regions of not just where Manglana takes place. The map it is a Harnick League map made by Eric Holtz, and it shows the fjords where Manglana takes place, but also shows where the Kingdom of Locust is located. And then of course we have a big overview map of the region, the political map with Manglana, and then the nearby other polities, Rogna, which I have the articles for, Locust, and Gelamar, Ibanval as well. And then on the back, on page 2, they have a poetic map. And this is the kind of the map that you would give to your players. It's not a cartographic to scale map, but it kind of shows where everything is in relative size, and which is it's really neat kind of a map that shows this the positioning of everything and various symbols denoting where things are, where the key I guess the key landmarks in key cities, towns, Thronals are. So then we look at Manglana, page 3. I'll just tell you what Manglana is. It's a large kingdom in northwestern Eve, the largest island in the Evinian archipelago. So I guess in a way, Evinia, though based on Scandinavia, is kind of a little separate. Maybe there's I'll have to look at the map of Northwest Lithia, and look at how this is kind of geographical, but it seems like it's separate, which is interesting. The kingdom's eastern borders with Ibanval and Eldeskal. To the south lie Gelamar and Gilbenmark, two of the realms of the Pendragondom of Seldenball. And this brings me to, N. Robin Crosby was working on Evinia, and unfortunately he never got it out, but it was in the future. It seems that we would have gotten like Seldenball and all these other things. Fortunately, Columbia Games has put out a few of these. I don't know. I have to look to see what they're based on. But the writers here, for example, the credit is N. Robin Crosby. I have the original book of Manglana. Jonathan Davidson, Tom Dalgleish, Mikkel Huber, and Brent Bailey. So they put together a lot of people in the Harn community who have contributed to like some fan type work, and now it's been official. And they've done this several times. So the artist, again, like I said, Richard Luschek. The maps originally by Eric Holtz, but also contributing are Odegur, Drevdahl, Brent Bailey, and Richard Luschek. And then there's actually a picture on one of the pages of the heraldry, and that is credited to another artist, which is really cool. It's credited to C.J. Rugner and Matt Rugner. So it's really neat. So anyway, the Manglana's geography is dominated by fjords, mountains, and the sea. It's largely isolated from the rest of Ive by the inhospitable Melgabrun and Kejilurian mountain chains, natural barriers with few passes. So it's pretty cool. And so that starts on page 3. So we have like an overview, and then page 4, 5, 6, through all the way through page 8 are the history and then the current situation. So there is a plot called the Stozar plot that happened within the last it looks like 50 years that has caused a lot of the issues now. And right now there's an internal conflict since the current ruler of Menglana, Lankar III, came to the throne in 688. The ebb and flow of allegiances between great clans has amounted to a cold war among the chilly waters of the Lehmann Fjord. Much of the unrest is centered around the long simmering hatred between the Stallers and Storzars. And I definitely did have a campaign in mind because Stallers and Stozars also exist in Rugna and Orbal. So there is like almost an international. It would be an international conflict, and I think I'd originally conceived of something called Black Wings over Orbal, where the players would start in any of those places. And I think when I did run it and I started it out, a couple players started in Menglana in the middle of the Civil War. But you can make it your own. That's the beauty of Harn and Harnworld. Everything, all the time when it stopped at 720, and then it becomes your own. They have a picture of King Lankar Staller on page 10. He is 61. He's been on the throne for 31 years. He's got a lot of children, so that probably contributes to the crisis. Everyone wants a peace, right? Then there's on page 12 starts the government organization between the Thronals, the Great Clans, Thron Gods, Valakars, Vothron, Thron, and Clonhold, and then lesser clans. And then there's a page on law, military resources. So much like Retham, it's kind of organized in that way. Economic data, so like what is traded at the various sub-political divisions within Menglana. I mean, because players sometimes they want to play space trucking or transport. They want to play some game, a game within a game where they do the economics. So you have that information. Also, can really serve like as if no one ever wants to get into that, it could definitely serve as backdrop. So, for example, if you go to Altenhus, they trade in furs, grain, livestock, luxuries, minerals, and other things, and you can put those descriptions within your game when you describe where you're at. So transportation, they talk a little blurb about transportation, culture, including Viking, food and drink, music, local festivals, and then religion. And they also talk about the non-human, or they talk about these are humans, the Yarili, which is a sort of I guess this is the first human inhabitants of Avinia, or a Jarn people relative to the Jarn of Harn and the Altland. So it's another culture that exists sort of outside the political landscape of Menglana, but you could find them they're seasonal migrants of caribou and reindeer herders, and the most Ureli dwell in tents. Some coastal clans harvest the bountiful sea and have a permanent dwelling as opposed to being nomadic, and they live in small clan groups. So you could be Ureli, or you could encounter the Ureli, and it's a pretty nice little article, 2-page article on that. Page 23 has a heraldry, and that extends, it looks like, for a couple pages. So the great clans of Menglana, it's a couple pages. They have quite a few, so it looks like 8, 12, 15 great clans in Menglana. Then they have the settlement data, and they give an explanation how everyone is related to, like who is related to who owes fealty to who. They have a chart with that. And then starting on page 26 and going all the way to the end, they have each individual kind of hold or political entity with its subdivisions as well. A little blurb on the government and military, the economics, and then of course adventure hooks within. And then they have like where it's located on the map. So every and they have the capital Pellin, for example, and they give like a brief who holds it, who they will tribute to, who they get tribute from, the population, etc. And then all the different holders of the Throns that are associated with Pellin. There's quite a few. So some are bigger than others. Let's take a blurb and see what kind of information we can have. I like this name here, Vullenheim. Whoa, it's big. Vullenheim population, its holding is to the Stallers. It gives tribute to Pellin, which is the capital, tribute from none. Vullenheim is the largest settlement in Menglana. It's 11,100 people. It's the 5th largest town in all of Ivinia. It's located near the eastern end of Le Gems Ford and is a major center of trade and the only walled town in the kingdom. I think there's an article on Vollenheim. I want to say that there's a Vollenheim article in the original Manglana. But anyway, although most of the royal clan Staller reside in the town on one of its thrones, the aging King Lankar III rarely visits, preferring the security of the Great Hall at Pellin and doing everything in his power to hamper Vollenheim's dominance of commerce. Four of the king's 6 surviving sons live in Vollenheim. Should one succeed to the throne, the town would likely benefit from the new king's patronage. So it already has, there's definitely some political intrigue and ongoings in Vollenheim. Talks about the town's 3 districts, etc., and the military as well. So it's a pretty neat, good article. Then even the last page, the back cover, kind of gives a bigger map of where in Ivinia Manglana would be located, as opposed to a closer in map that you get, and it kind of talks about a little bit of the history of Manglana too. It once dominated Western Ivinia. Despite its wealth and beauty, Manglana is a kingdom in decline. So it has 2 rival kingdoms, Rugna to the west and Ibanval to the southeast. So you could kind of add into those 2 articles. If they ever get an Ibanval article, Columbia Games does have a Rugna article. So definitely, if you want to set something in... but there's more. That was only the article on Manglana. There's a bonus article on the capital Pellin. And that article clocks in at, I want to say, 8 pages, which is not bad. It's a city article that clocks in at 8 pages here. I'm all confused now. Oh, did I do this back? I got all confused when I did this backwards. I'm so excited. That is one issue. I don't know if it's an issue. It's a feature, actually. So these don't come in a book. They come loose leaf, and that's kind of, sometimes people complain about Columbia Games and the price of their items, and that they come in a loose leaf, as opposed to, although they're doing Kickstarters for the Retham book was hardbound, they're doing Kickstarters to print hardbound a lot of their country books, kingdom books taking place in Harn. So these are all loose leaf. They're 3-hole punched, except for the cover and back cover. So I guess you'd have to punch them. Or I think ideally what you'd get is a notebook, put the cover in the front and the back of the notebook, if it has a little holder, and then put these inside of the 3-ring binder. So Pellin, it is the imposing royal seat of Manglana, and burial ground is an 8-page article. Again, some nice art that show what Pellin looks like to the viewer, the current situation, the government, economics, religion, military, and then it has a map and a gazetteer of the town, the royal compound Kirat Pellin, which is it's on a rock that's separated by a shoal from shore. Gotta love that alliteration with all the S's. It has a high town, like a temple to Sarajin, the marketplace, clan homes, etc. All the different, there's something called the Law Rocks with the twin, is kind of cool. And they show a picture of it in the article. These twin granite outcrops are prominent landmarks, visible for many miles. Thangs are held on the plateau between them on the 8th day of every month, weather permitting. The gathered assembly of freemen, many sitting on the facing slopes of the 2 hills, are addressed by speakers on a wooden dais, which is really cool. So, you could tell, the authors of this article, which again includes the late N. Robin Crosby, include Jonathan Davidson, Tom Dalgliesh, and Mikhail Huber, have really made this thing come alive. And again, like I said, some material did appear in the 1987 Manglana Kingdom module, which maybe I might have to compare and contrast. I don't know if it's worth it. They might, like I said, have an extra article on Vollenheim, but maybe Vollenheim, I think, would be worthy of its own article that's expanded, much like they've done with a lot of the cities, like Cities of Harn, etc., that you can get on Columbia Games or through DriveThru. I really like that they have these articles through DriveThru. You can just get them as a PDF and print them out. They usually go on sale about quarterly too. So if you feel, and I usually get the maps. I buy the maps, and when I DIY my Harn Roll 20, I use those maps. So anyway, that's pretty cool. So a lot of different, they're really full on the maps of the King's Hall and the Kirat Pelin that lies on the island. They have like pictures of people, and they have little blurbs on how you can incorporate them into a game or just about them, so as the game master. So they have an excerpt here from the Menglana Kellen map, and they show where Pelin is located, the Menglana Kingdom map. And Pelin, it's actually on an island, which is very interesting. And there's a couple other Throns on the island, Ergskisivic and Brechlund, that are on the island where Pelin is located. So it's located on an island, and then the castle, King's Hall itself, is a fortress of some sort, or the equivalent of a fortress. So then there's kind of the bonus, like I said, they have a whole like little mini article on the marketplace, which is kind of cool. And they have a sidebar about Nuri Balin, who is the Valakar of the Balin Great Clan and must have a lot of power and influence in Pelin, or is a rival. So they have some other things it extends the gazetteer. Oh, and they have adventure hooks. That is really cool. So they have 3 adventure hooks here, which is very nice. I didn't think they had some in the Menglana article, but in Pelin you could have the players come through Pelin, and there's 3 different adventure hooks that are here, which is quite nice, I think. So yeah, let me see. I'll read one of them. Not a pushover. Tilda Olafsson, proprietress of the Amber Inn, is being threatened. She was told by a shadowy individual that she has until the end of the month to leave Pelin, or she'll be made to disappear. She believes that a rival wants to take over running the inn, as a less scrupulous person could use the inn's advantageous position to generate great profit. So she wants someone to find out who is behind the threat and make the problem go away. She has many cousins at Stockheim, Thrawn, who could supply any muscle required. So that's your little adventure hook. I'm sure there's, you probably could find in here and read about the Amber Inn and see. Yeah. Oh, it's a brewery too. Aha. So it's a brewery as well. So you could kind of read through the article, see who could be a rival. Maybe they denote it, maybe they don't. You could make it up, and then you could have an adventure where you help Tilda Olafsson. So anyway, that is Menglana. I recommend. I mean, it's part of the Harm subscription right now, so I'm sure in the coming months you can get it as a PDF or as a copy. I will put the link to the Harm stuff for Columbia Games. I think it's well worth checking out. There's some neat things that you can use in Harn World or your own. And again, it's all system agnostic. It just gives you people and places, no stats. You can stat them out how you want to in your game, which I think is a fascinating thing about these products. Anyway, thank you for listening. I think I've done quite a lot on Menglana and Pelin article. So I will just close this out here. Thank you for listening to GMologist Presents. I thank Jason for joining me at the top of the show. The intro and outro music are by TJ Drennan, and usually Amy Lee Rodriguez does a cover art, but today it's the legendary Agnes McBride's cover of Treasures of Middle-earth. You can contact me by attaching or sending a message to gmologist@gmail.com. You can also leave me a message on the Anchor website. You can no longer do this on the app, unfortunately. I have a SpeakPipe account that you can leave me a message of about 90 seconds, and you can always send me a message, send it as a file, and leave it on my Discord handle, or send me a PM in Discord. I'm on various Discords, and you can probably reach me there as well to leave me a message. So again, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.